about you guys, but feeling the burn of stuff being super expensive at the grocery store now. So I'm looking for cheaper alternatives to my favorite recipe. So I am making chickpea tikka masala today instead of chicken because the price of meat is outrageous. So normally I marinate the chicken, so I guess I'm just gonna marinate these chickpeas and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna use two cans of chickpeas. They're just drained and rinsed. They're right here. Then you need a half cup of plain yogurt. I have this. That looks like about a half cup to me. And I think I'm just gonna try to like do the whole thing in here because I also hate dishes. So I'm gonna get this yogurt mixture together and then I'll add the chickpeas. First, we're gonna do about 6 cloves of minced garlic. I'm gonna do 4 because these are really, really big. And I don't really mince things. I have this garlic press. I don't, love a lot of kitchen gadgets. I think it just makes for clutter, and if it can only do one thing, it's kind of stupid. But for this, it's definitely worth it. Because, I just didn't even have to use a cutting board, and you put it with the skin on, and then it just peels off like that. It's literally so easy. And then I will either just rinse this out with a little bit of soap, or toss it in the dishwasher and it's good to go. I definitely recommend using fresh garlic. The stuff that comes in the can is not the same, but it's better than nothing. If you're in a pinch, you can substitute, that one was hard, garlic powder. It'll be good, it just won't be as good. All right, and then you need about a tablespoon of minced ginger. I kind of peeled this off a little bit with a spoon, but I mean, this is just a marinade, so we don't need to get all the skin off. Also, you can eat the skin, people just kind of think it's nasty. So I have a microplane, and that is how I'm gonna do this. So you can see, I kind of have an aversion to mincing things. It just seems like a lot of time. And ginger's pretty tough. And in traditional Indian cuisine, they will normally use a garlic paste or a ginger paste, which is made classically with a mortar and pestle. There's no freaking way I'm gonna do that. And salt and oil, and then they make that really, really flavorful paste that is the basis of a lot of Indian dishes. We're gonna talk about being traditional. It's also real, authentic Indian cooking uses spices in multiple forms. They use whole spices, in their whole form, and then they also use them ground up fresh. Listen, I'm not doing that. This is pretty freaking good on its own, so you're not gonna see me grinding up spices. I mean, if you're gonna do a little more modern, we have tools now. You can use a coffee grinder that's dedicated to grinding spices. Do not also use it to grind coffee unless you want your coffee to be spiced. I don't know which. I don't really want that. Ugh. Try not to shave my precious little fingers off. Ow. Okay, well, if you see that fingernail, just spit it out. Ow. Alright, I'm done with this. Just get my little ginger in there. And you can measure this out if you're not comfortable, like I am, just kind of throwing it together. But my teaspoons are dirty and in the dishwasher, and I don't feel like hand washing them. Okay, we'll just give a little mix. If we're measuring, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. got some seeds in there. Really wish they weren't in there. Going in. Ooh. Yogurt fingers. So if you're making this with chicken breast, I would first of all say just don't. You should use chicken thighs. But the yogurt and the lemon will tenderize the meat. So it's really best to do this overnight. I would do it a minimum of 3 hours. Obviously, I don't need to tenderize my chickpeas, but I'm doing it to just keep the flavors consistent. I've never made this before, but we'll see how we go. And then it's 2 teaspoons paprika, 2 teaspoons garam masala. I got this off Amazon. 2 teaspoons salt, 2 teaspoons ground cumin. And I'm just gonna measure with my heart. And that's 1. I feel in my feels that is 2 teaspoons. Probably go light on the salt. I've made this before and it's overly salty. And it just freaking ain't it, man. It's just really not. Ruins the whole thing. And you know, this is a dish that takes some time. Alright, well. A little paprika never hurt nobody. Garam masala, you know, like in India, like every family has their own like mixture that they make. So it's kind of like individual to each household, which is really cool. Maybe one day I'd make my own garam masala, but not today. I'm just gonna mix this up in here. I don't know that all of these chickpeas are gonna fit in here, but it's my hope and my dream that they do. So I'm just gonna put them in there. I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be tight. Oh, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Ah. Yeah, but now I gotta mix it up. Shit. All this just not washable. You know, maybe it would be easier to just not do this and washable, but I'm in too deep now. I can't go back. It's embarrassing. I have to make this work. Oh yeah, give me that seasoned yogurt. If you want the best flavor, use full fat. I use non-fat, but this is like what I eat for breakfast every day. I have work. And that's just what I have. And I'm sick of going to the grocery store and spending money. My husband and I are building a house. And I don't know if y'all know this, but it's really expensive. So literally every dollar I spend now kind of stresses me out. So I've had these chickpeas in my pantry for a while. You know, I could have done tofu, but I didn't want to buy tofu. I'd rather just use these. That looks pretty coated to me. I'm calling this one a win. You know? It was a little bit of a struggle, but now I'm just going to put the lid back on, put it in the fridge for like 3 hours, and then while I'm doing that, I don't know what I'll do. I think I'm going to try to paint an acrylic painting of my cat because like that's just so weird and I love it, and I'm going to hang it in my office. All right, so now we're doing the chickpeas. I got this medium-high heat, a couple tablespoons of neutral oil in here. I'm just gonna sear them off, give them some color. You know, chickpeas are obviously ready to eat out of the can, so they don't need to be cooked. This is just about building flavor, and I can tell you that this marinade smells so good. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. That looks pretty good to me. Now I'm just gonna take them. We're gonna set these aside. All right, back on here. We're gonna turn it down to medium, low medium. I don't know how you call it. A little bit lower, actually. Next, we're gonna toast our spices. 2 teaspoons chili powder. A dash of cinnamon. 2 teaspoons ground turmeric. I need to take this off of you. It's so hot. I'm gonna give it a stir. Ooh, you can really smell those spices waking up. It smells so good. 2 teaspoons ground cumin. That one came out fast. 2 teaspoons paprika. And 2 teaspoons garam masala. Ding. Gonna toast those off just for a minute. You definitely do not want these spices to burn. That's kind of why I took it off the heat. I have an electric cooktop, so I don't have that much control over the heat. Oh, you can smell it when they're ready. It definitely gets fragrant. And next we're gonna do a couple spoons of tomato paste. If you're measuring, I would say 2 tablespoons. And then we're just going to cook that until it kind of darkens up. It'll get fragrant, and I know that sounds like so silly, but when you heat it up, you can smell it. I'm gonna go with a little more oil. So at this point, I'm adding like a teaspoon. It's definitely starting to get fragrant, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw in this as 2 tablespoons of minced ginger and 8 cloves of minced garlic. Get all that goodness in here, and we're just gonna cook this for a minute until it's fragrant. You really do not want to burn garlic, and I give garlic a minute before it turns on people, so if you're worried about it, do less, honestly. I'm just gonna kind of push that off to the side. And add about a teaspoon more oil. Spread it out. And here I have a whole onion that's diced. You could use yellow onion, sweet onion, white onion. And if all you have is red onion, honestly, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. And then I like the flavor of jalapenos. It's more traditional to do serrano, but those are a little spicy for me. So I cut the jalapeno in half, de-seeded it. Make sure you get the white part out. The seeds is not actually what has the spice. It's the white membrane. It's the oil in it that makes it spicy. And then I just diced it up finely, or you could do strips. I used to do strips, but I was feeling diced today. So I'm going to toss this in. And we're just going to cook this until it's translucent. Oh, it is really starting to smell like Indian food now. It smells so good. All right, now we're kind of gonna deglaze a cup and a half of water. I didn't use all this tomato paste, but I definitely put it in a container to save it, and then I just put some of the water in here. And then this is the rest of the cup and a half. And I'd have the heat on medium high now. Now we're really, starting to cook. Give it a little swirly swirl. Break that tomato paste up. Really, really good. And then I'm going to do a can of diced tomato. I happen to have fire roasted, which is fine. If you don't, that's okay. Just any can of diced tomatoes. Then I'm going to go in with a can of tomato sauce. Now we're going to go back in and put our chickpeas in. Gotta have that protein. Give it a mix. Now, it depends on what consistency you want your stuff to be. I don't know if this is a little thick for me. I'm not really sure. Let me give it a taste. So now I'll probably add a tablespoon of sugar. If you notice, I haven't added any salt besides what was in the chickpeas, and you can taste yours and see if it needs it, but mine really doesn't. I'm gonna add like that's a little much. Maybe like 2 teaspoons of sugar. I prefer my curry sweeter. It's definitely not traditional, but that just throws it over the top for me. And We're gonna let this cook for a little bit. Looks so good. And then we're going to add 1 cup of heavy cream. You could also use half and half. I would absolutely not use milk. That's not gonna do it. So I am using heavy cream. Ooh, she's bubbling now. Just because that's what I have. Just stir in about a cup. And then you'll see, now it looks like chicken tikka masala. You get that beautiful, creamy looking color. Delicious. I'm gonna give it a taste. It's really good. Do a little more. Finish it off, I'm going to add fresh chopped cilantro. I would not sub parsley for this. If you don't have cilantro, I would just leave this out. Oh, it smells so good. If you like this video, you should definitely check out my homemade naan recipe. I know that sounds like, is this woman crazy? Like thinking that I'm gonna make naan in my freaking house. And I'm not crazy. It's actually so easy. And it just, you can't compare it with the pre-made stuff that you buy at the store that is like so nasty compared to the homemade naan. So go check out that video if you like this one. And look at how beautiful just the colors. And this has so many vegetables in it, good protein. I don't think I'm gonna miss the chicken at all. I really don't. It's beautiful.